Okay, speaking of fool me once, all of that, Miami, the Miami Hurricanes, their
Right.
win total set at 9 or 9.5 this year.
Mhm.
Mario Cristobal back, Shannon Dawson, offensive coordinator, Lance Guidry, defensive coordinator. Huge portal pickup for them in Cam Ward at quarterback. They're very high on him. Like the off-season things you hear are great. What do you think? Like, do you think Cam Ward will be what they expect, which I think is like first team All ACC at minimum, or are you a little more reserved in what you expect from him?
I think that if Cam Ward went to Ohio State, that we would be talking about him as a Heisman contender.
Mm.
So yeah, I know I think Ward is a really good quarterback. I watched quite a bit of him at Washington State.
Hmm.
I thought he was excellent. I did. I know they're very very high on him. Do they have a choice? Like they paid him so much money. Like you have to be pretty high. They convinced him to stay out of the NFL. I mean, that's a kid that entered the draft and then, or no, sorry, he what did he declare for an agent? I think, and then actually walked it back.
Yeah.
He didn't actually declare, obviously, but yeah, that was interesting. Like he definitely flirted with the NFL before coming back to college for another year, and he'll probably get paid more. Like that's the thing. I think Miami probably backed the truck up for him. Um, I like this. This might sound interesting here, but I think Miami has the best offensive and defensive line in the ACC.
Oh,
I think that they're the best at it. Um, I think that's important. And when you combine a really good quarterback with really good trenches on both sides, I like them. I like Miami. I'm going to take the over on Miami. I'm in here. We're gonna learn how to take some kneel downs. We're gonna figure that out. We're
oh
gonna
no.
learn some clock management. You've got the game now. You can just go play the NCAA video game and learn some management from that. So you just get your play caller in there and have him play that for a couple hours every day. This is a good thing. I we can do this. I'm talking myself into this. I believe in Miami up front and I believe
Hmm.
in Cam Ward. So why wouldn't I? They also have a good running back from Damian Martinez from Oregon
Yes.
State. I like this team. So do they have the big time receiver weapons? No, they're okay. They're not great, but I really like the rest of that football team. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take Miami. They have the game week 1 against Florida. That's
Yeah.
huge. That game is huge. Like it's at Florida as well. Not a home game for you. You're going to the swamp. That place will be bouncing. Florida needs that game desperately.
Yeah.
All that said, I'm taking Miami. I'm taking Miami to cover 9. I think they get there. Um, yeah, thoughts?
I have some thoughts. Yeah, sure. I I like Ward. I'm with you on Ward. Damian Martinez, like it's been a long time since Miami had a really good running back. And so
Lamar
props to
Miller. Yeah.
them. Yeah, props to them for getting Martinez from Oregon State. Like I think he's probably the most sure thing they got, like even over Cam Ward in the portal.
Right.
Like they know that they have a good running back. I think the receivers are pretty good. It's not as good as their offensive line, like you were talking about. We'll see. Like there's some guys there. The defense is talented. Like I'm with you on the talent. I'm not sure that they were always um I don't know. I would say that they didn't always quite live up to their talent defensively last year. There were
Okay.
some moments where it's like, okay, are you guys on the same page or not? And
Right.
maybe that can happen this year. It's going to need to. My biggest worry on their defense is probably the secondary. Not that it's bad. I I think their front seven is going to be very good. Um, my question marks, pretty simply, are some of the schedule things. You mentioned they open at Florida.
Yeah.
And we talked about Florida State getting to play Florida at the end of the year. Miami has to play in the beginning of the year when, everyone's going to be fired up at game one. Um, Florida won't be 4-8 when they play Miami. They also go to Louisville. They have to play Florida State, which they get them at home. They play Virginia Tech at home as well. Two slightly sneaky games, I think, are at Georgia Tech and at Syracuse. Like they're clearly favorites in those games, but
Right.
those are the type of trap games that we've seen Miami lose in the past. Yeah, I'm going under just because Man, I got to see it from Miami before I'm willing to put some faith in them. There's still a part of me that is just terrified Mario Cristobal will just lead them to one more loss than they should have. Just because of dumb stuff. Like he's done it
Right.
multiple times.
Yes.
He does some things very well though. Like you talked about the line play, he's made
Mhm.
that happen there. So I don't have a huge disagreement with anything you said. I will just take the under until proven otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand where you're coming from. And yeah, betting on Cristobal to be really, really good in game is scary. Like I understand that. I do think that with the trenches that they have assembled there and a really, really good running back and
Yeah.
a quarterback that's not going to turn the ball over a whole lot, that's a veteran. I like that. That's a great combination. So
Mhm.
yeah, well, I'm going to go ahead and ride with the Hurricanes this year.
Fair enough.